We're talking about our old friend Ethan Klein and the H3 podcast, where he talked about Hasan in this video here, and he pretty much just addresses everything. You know, I listened to the whole thing because I really wanted to get a grasp as to how Ethan felt about, well, you know, the conflict between Hasan and himself. And it's pretty eye-opening. You know, it doesn't look good for Hasan, in my opinion, at least, because of course Ethan, the entire time, he's demonstrating why he feels a certain way, and of course he's backing it up. And you know, it's very hard to deny that, you know, Ethan's feelings are real. It kind of blows my mind how, you know, Hasan, even though he does take certain measures to stop his chat from saying all of these terrible things about Ethan and Hila, I still feel like he's not doing enough. And I kind of want to go ahead and talk about that. So let's go ahead and talk about certain issues that Ethan brought up, because I have a couple of things to say.
Something happened over the past few days that really fucking set me off and made me get kind of just like determined to finally just do this once and for all. So obviously things have gotten more strained between us as time has gone by. And after some recent events, which I'll get into, I find it impossible not to say anything. I am seeing a concerning rise in anti-Semitism and a normalization of it in a way that I don't think Hasan is anti-Semitic, but I do think that stuff he does contributes to it. And I know that's a big claim. However, I hope that you will watch this through. I believe it's well supported, and I feel that it will be persuasive if you listen to what I'm saying.
Now, I know that there's going to be a portion of Hasan's community that's just immediately going to jump to the conclusion of, oh my gosh, Ethan is such a clingy boyfriend. At this point, Hasan needs an escape plan. I'm gonna be honest with you, after watching that entire podcast, that is the last thing that was on my mind. The impression that I got was that this, you know, that this content creator is being tormented online by a community. Now, I know that there's other people who are gonna argue and say, well, you know, it's online harassment. You're a content creator. What do you expect? Yeah, but in this particular instance, I think it's different, okay? Yeah, we all face harassment. Even I do, as a small channel, surprisingly. But in Ethan's case, this community happens to be a community that is constantly under the spotlight. So many other communities, so many content creators are constantly observing this particular community because of the way it behaves. Now, I do want to go ahead and mention that it's not everybody in Hasan's community. As you're going to see in this video, I'm going to mention a couple of people who are more politically aligned with Hasan, but they choose not to associate with Hasan or his community anymore because of the treatment that Ethan Klein is receiving. Actually, scratch that. It's not just Ethan Klein, but also the way Hasan carries himself throughout this entire conflict between Israel and Palestine, and perhaps when he debates other content creators. It's just the one-sidedness that some people have a problem with. So for instance, this viewer here, I have to leave Hasan sub. If you read, which I'm gonna read to you guys, actually let's read it right now. I might get hate for this, but I just wanna say that I'm leaving Hasan's community. The struggle between him and Ethan has been hard for me. For a long time, my beliefs aligned more with Hasan than Ethan, but I stayed with H3 because his show is more than politics. At this point, though Hasan's followers are honestly so far detached from reality, I can't stay. Like when you have a Hasan viewer wanting to stay with H3 because he can't stand the fact that so many people in Hasan's community are so far detached from reality, that's saying something. That is really truly saying something. And that's not the only person who said that. Under that same thread, there was another commentator who said, same, I still watch Hasan and align with his politics mostly, but I don't interact with his community at all. I'm obviously pro-Palestine. AB has made some great tweets about it recently too, but I understand the nuance of things, especially how devastating and prevalent anti-Semitism is. The vitriol Ethan and Hila get is obscene and disgusting. When his community members are saying that the community bungee jumps from reality all the way to fantasy, that's saying something. And there's so many content creators that have all agree on the same idea, that Hasan's community and Hasan himself are absolutely radicalized. They like to generalize it and paint it as a broad stroke, but not me, man. I have seen that a good portion, another portion of Hasan's community, they're asking the question like, what's going on? You know, like, dog, like this is no longer tethered to reality. And even Ethan Klein, your own friend, he's noticing this change, and he brought it up. But a lot of people instead, the radical group, what they're gonna say instead is Ethan's just doing this for drama. Obviously, he's trying to get back together with him because apparently he misses Hasan. He probably has a poem written somewhere in his drawer. And if you want to interact with Hasan's radical portion of his community, Feel free to engage. When this video reaches 1,000 to 2,000 views, you're going to see them down in the comment section down below. Go ahead and engage with them. As soon as you ask them the question, why does Hasan blah, 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 first off, that's exactly what they're going to hear. And second, as soon as you ask them, they're just going to put you on hold. And instead of music, you're just going to listen to a creative story with justifications. Like, for instance, there was this guy who Ethan showcased on his podcast, how he told Ethan and Destiny, Bill Mayer, and Asmongold to go disappear. You know what I mean, right?
Comrade Casey said, I'm assembling a team. This guy, Hassan Kader, said, I hope they commit Suicide Squad. And which I found, I'm like, wow, okay, so 90,000 likes telling me to kill myself for a belief. And again, this is part of the problem. Like, what have I done? Like, why am I in these memes getting 2 million views of me telling me to kill myself? Because apparently I'm like anti-Islam or I hate Gaza or whatever. I mean,
now Hassan Kader, apparently he got banned for tweeting that. And if you read the tweet, you know what he was attempting to insinuate. When he got unbanned, I guess apparently he ended up talking about it. He gave a little PSA talking about how, oh, there was a misunderstanding. There was a joke behind that. Now, I'm all for jokes. However, that particular tweet is directed towards someone who is currently polarized whenever anybody discusses that person. And so when you say that, there's a certain message that goes along with that particular joke. And the message is that we should punish, shame, or even encourage that these guys disappear because of the way they think or the way they support a certain group of people. And if you take a look at the comment section underneath that particular tweet where he tweeted the PSA, you can see that there's a couple of people down there, not with a lot of engagement, but certainly who are advocating for that particular action. We have here, nah, I know what you mean, and still love it. Why backpedal when you're right? And then I found this tweet. I see nothing but a fire tweet. If this person would have invented the wheel, it would have been shaped like a square. But that's what happens when you make tweets like that. You start to attract these people. Look at Hasan. He's like super radical and he's attracting a ton of radical people. A lot of his level-headed users are no longer sticking around. I would rather have level-headed people that can at least understand the other side than to have a radicalized group that's following you. Because at the end of the day, when you decide to grow from your own thoughts and your own ideas and you start to improve or even develop them, a lot of these people, because they think in black and white terms, they're going to look at you as a traitor or somebody who is potentially a threat to their cause. At the end of the day, it's just important for the content creator to be self-aware enough. I take a look at Ethan. Ethan, he's improved dramatically with the way he used to think. I remember back then he attempted to snake Fresh and Fit, trying to accuse them of SA with that one woman. He was pretty radical, and he was serving a radical audience. But now that he wants to improve and now that he has a lot more understanding, his head is out from the clouds, a lot of the people that he used to cater to are now criticizing him, are now bashing him, are lambasting him, and he can't deal with it. This is a making of Ethan at the end of the day. He was catering to these people, but all I could say is that at the end of the day, man, I used to be like that. Luckily I did not have a following, because man, that would have been bad for me. But I just wish Ethan the best. And I know that if Ethan just hangs on, eventually he's going to attract the crowd that I believe he really truly deserves. I've been watching Ethan and I'm enjoying Ethan a lot more nowadays. But here I am in support of Ethan. And yeah, I just want to go ahead and bring awareness to this, because I think that it's important that people understand that, anti-Semitism is on the rise. Ethan is not the only one who's being affected by this. Other Jewish people are being affected by this. Remember, separate the Jewish people from Israel. What happens in Israel is completely different from what occurs here in the States with the Jewish people. So I don't know, man. I just wanted to just go ahead and bring a bit of awareness, because I know that this is kind of a growing trend. I'm noticing it. I'm noticing a lot more anti-Semitism, especially in other groups as well. I know Sneeko and Andrew Tate, they were just kind of like firing at each other, talking about, oh, you're the Jew. No, you're the Jew. And it's like, dude, like, what? That's terrible. So yeah, I just kind of want to just go ahead and bring awareness to the cause, Ethan's cause, and of course, anti-Semitism. So I just wanted to just go ahead and talk about that. So anyways, that's all I have for you guys. And yeah, hopefully you guys learned something today.